Hey guys, Elsewhere here. How's everybody doing? I am in the kitchen today, and I was just recently telling a friend of mine how much I love doing roasted chicken, and I've done videos on this before, but as per the usual with Elsewhere, every time I do something that there's just, it's always different, a little bit different every time. There's some kind of tried and true things, like the ingredients and the way I put it together, but then there's other things that, excuse me while I realize that I need my pan on. And the burner I was going to use is having an ignition issue, so my pan will go here. So while that's heating up, I'm going to go through what I have going on here, and then start adding it to the pan. Sometimes I start in a cold pan and I just throw all of this in. It goes in the oven. I leave it for 2 hours and it comes out and it's done. And then other times I start with a hot pan on the stove, and then it finishes for about an hour in the oven. So today, also just in reference to the lighting, we're under a gorgeous, I don't know, 8x10 skylight. And so we're working with natural light, so you might see some clouds passing by. It's a gorgeous day here on the homestead. So anyway, I'm gonna get started. I have some of you are familiar with this, my just hand carved, flat, sideways kind of tool. It's my favorite kitchen tool. And I'm starting with about 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. I keep bacon grease. I've said this before in other videos. I'm a equal opportunity fat user. We have olive, avocado, sesame, coconut, bacon, you name it. I got some Crisco in the pantry. I have some, we use real butter. It just depends on what I'm going for. So, but today I want to do traditional rustic homestead cooking. So anyway, that bacon grease is going to go down. And I have a kind of low and slow. I'm going to do my dried seasoning here in the oil. So I'm not really trying to cook and brown. I'm trying to infuse, right, with my dry ingredients right now, my dry seasoning. So in here I have red pepper flakes, garlic powder, onion powder, ginger, ground ginger, a little bit of pink Himalayan, and a pinch of cayenne. The red pepper flakes are a little bit spicy, but the cayenne is my preferred, if I'm using salt and pepper, I like cayenne. So this is hot. It's actually starting to smoke a little bit. So these are our dry. I'm gonna throw those down and just get those going in that fat. And again, the idea here hopefully is to infuse the fat with all these yummy aromas of the dry ingredients. Most of what I put in here is pre-ground, you know, it's just, you know, they're in jars. Here's my cayenne, right? There's a little ginger, just using up the last of my ginger. But I use this because, of course, the dried pepper flakes, and also it just helps kind of break it down, release the perfumes and the oils. You know, these are dry, dehydrated, you know, who knows how old they are. So anyway, that's why I grind them just a bit. And then to this oil now. Here I'm going in with, this is a whole head of chopped garlic. Yeah, go big or go home on garlic. Ground or lemon zest and ground ginger. This is probably generous 2 tablespoons of ground fresh ginger, and it's 1 whole lemon zest. So ginger, garlic, lemon. I mean, we're cooking a chicken, right? And I'm gonna have to add some more grease. This happens, I kind of start with what I think I'm gonna need, and if I have to add more, it's fine. I don't really, you know, I don't worry too much. I don't like to use all my bacon grease if I know I'm gonna render a bunch of fat off of the chicken that I'm cooking, right? Because there's gonna be a lot of fat there, but if I need it for this part. The other thing I could do, if I really wanted to, is I could take a little bit of the chicken fat off of my bird and throw it in there and let it render, but not today. I wanted to show you this pot real quick. These are all my scraps from my parred vegetables, and these are actually going to, after the chicken comes out and everything's cooked and ready for a meal, either later on today or tomorrow, I'll bone the chicken. The carcass goes in here and we start our bone stock, and that will go for, I really let this go. I let this go low and slow overnight, 12 to 24 hours. Yeah, so nothing goes to waste. It's one of the reasons I love this meal so much, this preparation. And I'll just hold this up for a minute. You can see how dark everything is. Got a little fat going in there. It smells amazing. And then here we have, here in the pantry, we have red onion. I'm kind of, you know, I use what I have. If I was actually shopping specifically to do this, I would go with the sweet onion, maybe Vidalia's yellow. Sometimes I'll go with, you know, shallots or something, you know, it just kind of depends on what I'm feeling that day. It's not always ginger and garlic and lemon, but that's what I did this time. You can do a traditional, you can do your thyme and rosemary and all that great stuff too. You know, some people like to throw down a bay leaf. I have them. I just not really sure if I need that, because now I've got the fresh garlic and ginger plus the dried, and now I'm going down with my onion and my celery. Get this all sweaty. No, you guys can't. I'll just turn this. It's just kind of hard to get me in the food in the shot here. So I'm just gonna, this might work. I might be able to get myself in there. I'm gonna clear this board pretty quick and then I'll be like right up there with you guys. We like to refer to this as eating the rainbow. And we'll just let that go. Want to get the sweat going. Another thing that's a little bit different than my usual is I'll do, 4 sweet onions and, 2 or 3 pounds of carrots, and that's the way I like my chicken. I just love the onions and the carrots, and I don't really care about anything else. But here, we use what we have. We had some really nice, I know it sounds strange to say nice celery, but we had some really nice organic celery. And, sometimes, try as we might, we just don't use things in a timely fashion, and it was really it's kind of hard to let things go to waste. I'm going to go ahead and turn up this heat a little bit. And so, the hen we have today is from here in the village. I've spoken about being able to source here, and what a blessing that is for us to be able to do that. We have such a small community here, and there are just so many people doing doing their part and doing bits, and you can just kind of, you can just walk or ride a bike or drive in a circle around the village, and you can pretty much get most of what you need. Produce is coming. The hens will start coming. We're in spring now, and they'll start butchering, I believe, actually last year I think they started their first batch in March, so they might be coming here in May. And they usually do 3 batches, so you can order about every 6 weeks, kind of through a little bit, kind of into summer. When it starts getting hot and dry, there's really no reason to be keeping, chicken meat birds around, so you get them butchered out and put away. And then right in the middle of summer, usually July and August, is when fish starts coming. There's fish here on the island, there's clams here on the island, and then depending, there's some sports stuff you can do. You can get some prawns. It's not really, if you enjoy going out in your boat and having a day on the water, it's great, but you're not going to, it's not worth the fuel or the time, the yield you're going to get. But hey, spotted prawns, have a nice meal. We can get clams. And then just on the outskirts, we can also get crab pretty much anytime we want. That's another thing that we can do here, but again, it's kind of more about, it's the most expensive crab you'll ever eat because it costs money to go out and drop those pots and then go back and pick them up. So, but that happens during the summer, and then later in the fall is when we start getting the lamb. Eggs will be coming on strong now, and they'll go through summer. As the days get longer, they start laying, right? So that'll be plentiful. As well as, the fresh produce that'll just be coming into season. There's a few places on the island that they really devote their garden spaces to growing the produce, and you can just go to the stand for their homes and pick that up. So anyway, yeah, just so blessed, and being able to cook like this and share with you guys is awesome. So this is looking pretty good. We got some Yukon Golds and some carrots. Again, I don't usually do the potato, but I mean, obviously people love potatoes. It's absolutely fine. Who isn't going to love this, right? So, and that's the other reason if I'm doing the potatoes, I like to start with a hot pot before it goes in the oven, because then the potatoes and the chicken kind of cook at the same rate. Potatoes take a while. Okay, so I hope you guys can hear me. I'm sorry, I'm talking a little bit low and I'm not really all that close to you guys. So it's really more about the food than me running my mouth. But so here we have a cup of wine, a cup of chicken broth, and the juice of that lemon I zested, one whole lemon. So that goes down, and this is going to help us deglaze the pot. Get all those flavors really coming together. And so now I'm going to show you. Let me go ahead. I want that liquid to come up to a really solid simmer, and then I'll show you kind of the end step here. I don't season or salt my bird, and I had said that I had added, I'm gonna go and pull this up for a minute just because I'm gonna have to wait a few minutes for that to come up to temp. I had said I put some pink Himalayan salt in the pestle and mortar. Again, I did that basically because I have the potatoes in here, and this is a more, I just feel like it's gonna need just a little helping hand with the flavor. Usually, I never salt my bird. I know a lot of people say to pre-salt. I do, I wash it, I dry it, I try to make sure that there isn't any moisture left on the exterior of the bird before it goes in the oven. And that's mostly, and this is kind of a poached method anyway, but even with the lid on, this will go in for, it's a little bit big, so probably an hour and a half at 350. And I'll pull it out, and then I just leave the lid on. This is a cast iron Dutch oven. I leave the lid on, and it will sit here on the stove for an hour to an hour and a half, and then it'll be ready for lunch, dinner tonight. Probably lunch again tomorrow, and then I will make the stock and a soup. I usually take some of the breast meat and make like chicken salad, or we'll have chicken sandwiches or something with the meat other than just what's going on in the pot, and save the meat and the vegetables for dinner meals for the evening. It's so easy. And then on day 3 it's just down to the stock and making a really simple maybe a chicken noodle, chicken and rice, whatever is happening at that time. With the ingredients I used, with the ginger and the garlic and the lemon, it's really easy to go in a lot of different directions. So when I do the soup, I could go more traditional with the thyme and the sage, or rosemary and things like that, and do a really traditional chicken noodle. Or I can go maybe a little more Asian feel and incorporate maybe some lemongrass and some sesame oil and some different things, who knows, maybe add a little bit of spice. just a lot of different things. So here we are up to a boil. So while simmer, I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna move this over so maybe you guys can see it a little bit better. And here's our bird. The other thing I like to do, I like to go breast down. So breast goes in, or well, the bird goes in. Do the whole bird, not just the breast, because the breast will stay moist and tender, and the breast meat is really, you know, it'll dry out if it's face up, and then the back of the bird, really basically the only good thing about it is the skin. You got a lot of good skin and fat, but you don't have a lot of meat, and the dark meat is on top, and that'll render down, and then you get your nice crispy skin on top, and then you get that moist poached breast on the bottom. So that's my theory. So here's our lid. I have to actually open the oven now because this pot weighs probably about 10 pounds right now. The chicken was 5 point, it was over 5 pounds. And then I probably have 3 pounds of vegetables, and then the pot empty weighs at least 2.5, if not 3 pounds, cast iron Dutch oven. So I'll be right back. So here we go, getting our workout for the day. Oh, and my pot holder caught on the, you'll see it when I move this. See, it caught on the rack, the stove. Whatever this thing is, you know, the burner top. Okay. So, there we are, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and, you know, hey, roasted chicken, it's a good thing. Not only that, you know, it's just a perfect example of how you can invest, you know, a good organic hen is going to run you, it can run you anywhere from $15 to $20 to $25, but the longevity and the amount of food, not only food that's going to fill you up, but the actual nutritional value is so great, and that's why I love it so much. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Elsewhere out.